Hi there, hope you having a great day today. Today I want to show you the VLOOKUP function in Google Spreadsheet. If you're unfamiliar with VLOOKUP and want to learn more about how it works, this tutorial is for absolute beginners. And you'll be able to use it with larger data tables that we use on a daily basis. This super powerful function is useful whether you're working on a project at the workplace or at home, and I'll explain it to you so that you can use it effectively. What does the VLOOKUP function do? The VLOOKUP function extracts data from a cell in specified column using specified search key. VLOOKUP means vertical lookup. As the name suggests, VLOOKUP is a function that helps you look for a specified value by searching for it vertically, in other words, across the sheet. You might hear something called HLOOKUP. That's a different function because then, we would be searching horizontally. Let's take a look at the VLOOKUP formula structure. The syntax for the VLOOKUP formula is: first, the equal sign. In Google Sheets, as well as in other spreadsheet programs such as Microsoft Excel, the equal sign is used as a prefix for a formula or function. The equal sign is used to indicate that the following characters represent a formula or function that needs to be calculated, rather than simply being text or a number. Followed by our function name, which is VLOOKUP, open parenthesis, search key, range, index, and then the is sorted, then close parenthesis to conclude the formula. The search key is the value you want to search for. Range is the range of cells where the lookup table is located. Index is the column number in the table from which the corresponding value should be returned. And is sorted is a logical value that specifies whether you want an exact match or an approximate match. In this example, we will be using Montecito ID as our search key. The goal is to use VLOOKUP to search for this key in our main sheet and populate the columns for property name and property address. To begin, we will input the VLOOKUP formula into cell B2. This formula starts with the equal sign and includes the function VLOOKUP, followed by an open parenthesis. The search key, or lookup value, is the Montecito ID, which can be selected from the appropriate cell. Next, we will specify the range of cells where the Montecito IDs and property names are located in the main sheet. It's important to note that the first column of this range should be where the search key is located. The range we will be using is from the cell where the search key is, up to the last cell in the sheet. I will click the first cell of my range, then go to the very last cell of the sheet, and then hold the Shift key and left click to select the whole range. We will then select the index, or the column number, in our range that should be returned. This will be the column where the answer we are looking for is located. It is important to note that when counting the index number, count starting from the very first column of your range. Lastly, we will input the is sorted argument. This can be set to either true or false. If set to true, the VLOOKUP formula will use an approximate match and return the closest match to the lookup value. If set to false, it will only return a value if the lookup value is found exactly in the first column of the table. In this case, we will be using false to ensure an exact match. It's important to double-check the formula, range, and column index to make sure that the correct value is being returned. And there you have it, the function has given us the information we need. Locking the cells. Now, the problem with this VLOOKUP formula is that the cell number is not locked. This means that if you move the formula to a different cell, the cell number in the formula will also change. This can be frustrating if you have a lot of formulas and you don't want to have to update them all individually. To lock the cell number on a VLOOKUP formula, you will need to use the $sign symbol. The $sign symbol is used to lock the cell reference in a formula. For our current formula, we would add the $sign symbol before the column letter and row number. So, the formula would look like this. The $sign symbol before the E and BR locks the column reference. And the $sign symbol before the 3 and 6012 locks the row reference. Now, When you move the formula to a different cell, the cell number in the formula will stay the same and you won't have to update it manually. That's all there is to it. Locking the cell number on a VLOOKUP formula is a simple process that can save you a lot of time and hassle in the long run. Key points to remember is that the VLOOKUP function searches for the search key only in the first column of the range. If this is the range, VLOOKUP will search this column. If this is the range, VLOOKUP will search this column and so on. The data you want to extract for the key should be to its right. For example, if you choose cell E as the search key, VLOOKUP can extract any columns or information on its right. You cannot extract the acquisition date because it is on the left of our search key, which is the Montecito ID. And that's it. We've successfully used the VLOOKUP formula in Google Sheets to populate the property name and property address columns based on the Montecito ID search key. It's a very powerful function that can save you a lot of time and effort when working with large data sets. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and we will be happy to help.